is Lorna Takehara Strand, Chair of Oahu Democrats, with candidate Gary Gill, who is running for the House of Representatives from District 27. Aloha, Gary. Can you
Aloha.
tell, can you tell us where you were born and your childhood ohana?
Oh, well, my family's been in Hawaii since the late 1800s. Like my dad, I was born in Honolulu and educated in the public schools, Lincoln, Stevenson, Roosevelt, which I call the Papakolea Institute of Higher Learning. Um, so, yeah, we've been in Hawaii a long time. My grandfather first came. He was a local architect. Some of the old houses in Manoa and Nu'uanu were ones that he developed, and a lot of public buildings in Chinatown. So we've been here in Honolulu for a long time. I've got family in Hilo as well, but I've been born and raised and lived in urban Honolulu pretty much my whole life.
And where do you call home now with your adult ohana?
Well, right now I've been living in Punch Bowl, Pauoa since I was married to Susan for about 35, 36 years. I lose track. It's been a long time. The interesting thing is, my wife was born overseas. She was born in Hong Kong and raised in Egypt and Lebanon and high school in Japan. But once her family met and married in Hawaii, but she didn't spend much time here growing up. And so when I convinced her to come back and live, although she grew up all around the world, since we've been married, we've moved about like 100 yards in each direction. Really, she did not want put down that route, and we haven't left since, except for a year in Tokyo. She did get a Fulbright Award, and we spent a year with the kids in Japan. So that was a special treat for all of us.
Please tell us about someone who's your personal hero who keeps you moving forward every day.
Well, I think heroes are for Marvel comics and movies. Really, in real life, I don't think there's one individual. There's a lot of hardworking people that inspire me every day. Of course, I grew up in politics. My dad was in Congress and the Territorial House and lieutenant governor, ran for governor twice. So it's hard to deny that I would have received, some bug of politics or trying to make a positive difference in public service by running for office from my dad. From my mom, a lot of wisdom, day to day, knowledge of how to get by as a child of the Depression, growing up on a farm. If you didn't grow the food, you didn't eat. So she brought a lot of just passion for conservation and recycling and wisdom about life and a wacky sense of humor, which I probably will have to blame her for. My uncle was the father of environmental education in Hawaii in the 70s and 80s. So he took us all around to the special places, hiking Haleakala or, up to the top of Mauna Loa and places on the Napali coast on Kauai. So a real sense of how special Hawaii is firsthand, I owe to him. And a lot of the work I've done in environment from my uncle Lauren, who was a social worker and headed Palama Settlement. But day to day, where I find inspiration is in just normal people. When I was a hotel worker, just the spirit of the working maid who got up early, came to work every day, worked another job after work, raised a family. Just the resilience and the power and the dedication of regular people every day. The teacher that goes the extra mile and brings kids out into the forest to take a hike and to learn about nature, not just what's in the four walls of the classroom. These are the things that inspire me to keep going.
We have a minute left, and in that, would you tell us why you believe you're the right Democrat for the job of representative from District 27?
Thank you for that. So, I have a unique history. I've been at this a long time. I'm 62 years old. I've been in public office as a member of the city council and as council chair. I've been in administration as the director of environmental health for Hawaii. I've been in the nonprofit sector, and I help run a family business. So I bring my whole life experience back into politics should I be elected, and I hope that makes a difference.
Good. And if Democrats want to volunteer for your campaign, how can they contact you?
I think it's written down on the screen, friendsofgarygill.com. So sure, go to the website. We need sign waivers. We need folks who will help write things and send postcards and all the stuff that comes in with running a campaign. So I really appreciate the opportunity to say hi to people. And Lorna, thank you and the Wahoo Democrats for making it possible to connect people with their elected officials. It's vitally important to preserve this amount of democracy and to cherish it and make it stronger.
Aloha and mahalo, Gary Gill.
Aloha, everybody.